So I'm changing my priority in my business, which I do often, to really just focus on Pinterest, because Pinterest is the platform where I have the most amount of followers, where I have the most amount of reach. At one point in a quarter period, which means 3 months, I had reached 7 million people. And so I am just going to focus on that platform. And as I learn different things about Pinterest, I've decided I'm going to share my knowledge with my audience. One of the things I've learned recently is that Pinterest is introducing, or they're experimenting or considering doing what's called story pins. As you know, if you're a member of various different social media platforms like Snapchat, Instagram, even Facebook, yeah, they all have these stories, which essentially like little small snippets of your life, video of pictures with graphics and things like that of your life. And so Pinterest is doing that as well, but they're rolling it out. They started it like last year sometime, because I've seen story pins as far back as like last October. And the pins that I've seen from story pins I saw last October, you were able to edit it and create them on desktop, and you were able to hyperlink to like, I guess, a commerce shop or back to your website, which is great. I wish they had that, but they've since it's an experiment, removed that option. So now you can only do a story pin on mobile, can no longer do it on desktop, and also they removed the option of adding a hyperlink. And I think part of the reason why is because they want people to stay on the platform. If they include a hyperlink, people will just leave off. I don't know. Well, I don't have the ability to do hyperlinks. However, I've decided that it's still worthwhile to do, because it's great for increasing your impressions, engagement, saves, which ultimately increases your brand awareness for people on the platform, and you get discovered from different people who want to collaborate with you. So the more impressions you have, the better it is for converting those impressions into more customers, brands, more opportunities. Okay, so I wanted to show you how the fact that Pinterest actually is promoting pin stories by showing you. Here's an example of a pin that I pinned last night, and this is the amount of pin impressions I've gotten. Now compare that to this pin here, which is a story pin, which is around the same time, but that one, Pinterest has pushed it through its feed, and it's getting more impressions, more engagement, more likes, more shares. And so it's doing exponentially well because Pinterest wants to promote this new thing they're doing. And so those story pins are great for increase your brand awareness, increase your purchase, maybe get more opportunities. And I talk a little bit about in this tutorial, so watch this tutorial here. Okay, let's see. Last night I made some coffee because I was working late into the wee hours in the morning, and I decided to make that whipped Dalgona Korean coffee that's really hot. And so I decided to do it, and I posted it on Twitter on my Pinterest page, how to make whipped coffee, right after I made it. This was like in the middle of the night. And this is proof that Pinterest is promoting story pins, because look how many impressions, 2,600 impressions. That's from overnight, 553 close-ups, and 8 people have saved it already. So if you have and this is just something that I was made up. I took a picture of the recipe, which is 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, and 2 tablespoons of hot water in a bowl. You whip it, you pour a glass of milk in a glass, you whip it up, and you create this little frosty foam here, and you pour it on top of there, and you're done, and you enjoy. So I pinned that overnight. That's a really fancy, pretty one. Mine doesn't look this pretty. And I got 2,600 impressions overnight. So that should be your clue that if you have access to story pins, do it. It's a great way. They don't allow links. The old way you used to be able to do story pins, 1, you used to be able to do it on your desktop. And then 2, you also used to be able to add a link, which would be great because you can hyperlink it straight to your site. They don't let you do that anymore. However, what this does is great for elevating and increasing your reach. My monthly viewers go up and down. It's been as high as like 2, 3, 4 million long time ago. And with the algorithm changes, my different priorities is fluctuated. So now I'm under 1 million. I want to get that back up to 1 million. I do get 1.1 million impressions, and my audience has gone up. Engagement's gone down a little bit. I just want to get the monthly viewers back up to 1 million, over 1 million. And so that helps. And each time people see your pins and you get more audience and impressions, and people get to see your other pins and your other posts, and they follow your account, and people have opportunities, and they'll ask you for sponsorships. So you have to convert even though this story pin doesn't necessarily convert into story pins doesn't necessarily convert into traffic for me. It does convert to increased impressions and brand elevation, and people see me. And when people see you, they know you exist. And then if someone has an opportunity, they want to sponsor, they'll reach out to you. So there's more than just, these vanity metrics. You look at them and people may say they're just vanity metrics, but actually they can convert into other opportunities. So you got to look at more. So that's one of the benefits of it. And they do allow you to put notes. So what I do is I'll put a note and to follow more recipes or whatever like that, and I'll link it back to a site. I might even convert that froth recipe into a blog post, and then I can add the link to the blog post on this pen, so which may convert into traffic. Anyway, that's it. I'll share.